Aloha and welcome to Moonscope's Astrology. Today I'll review this month's astrological highlights ushered in by the Cancer new moon on July 8th at 14 minutes past midnight Pacific. The new moon is at 16 degrees Cancer, and this cycle will conclude with the Leo new moon on August 6th. I'm your host, KG Stiles. Moonscope's Astrology is sponsored by PurePlantEssentials.com, Organic Aromatherapy, and Health Mastery Systems.com, holistic products and services for body, mind, and soul. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my videos. I really appreciate your support. This month's new moon is at 16 degrees Cancer on July 8th, and the Cancer new moon is exact at 14 minutes past midnight Pacific. The new moon always brings new beginning, and this one is especially fertile as it is conjunct Jupiter. The Cancer new moon conjunct Jupiter boosts the Cancerian influence in this area of your life. So foundational matters of emotional importance to you are highlighted, such as home, family, your roots, how you nurture and nourish yourself and others now receive support in a big way. You may notice your dreams are very vivid at this time, and memories from your past surface. On July 8th, the Cancer new moon is conjunct Mercury retrograde, so you may have an opportunity to easily review or release a contract or prior agreement that's related to Cancer themes now. On the very next day, the Sun also conjuncts Mercury, so you are supported to completely release some old form of communication or contract from your past that may no longer serve you in the present. For more about the astrology and importance of the Cancer new moon for your fertile new beginnings and a Cancer new moon meditation with the Archangel Gabriel, click on the links I've posted below this video. On July 13, Mars moves into Cancer, so your energy for taking action and getting things going will be focused in the area of your life where Cancer is located, and the area of your life ruled by Cancer, your fourth house. On July 15th, we have the first quarter moon at 23 degrees Libra. The quarter moon in Libra is square to the Sun and Mercury in Cancer and sextile to Venus in Leo. So you're supported to negotiate differences with others and guided by the loving assistance of Venus. This feels like dissolution of a contract and or a renegotiation of a contract that is more harmonious for all parties. At least this could be the potential of this particular constellation of energy. The waxing quarter moon usually denotes something needing to be let go of so you can manifest your Cancer new moon desires and intentions. On July 17th, Uranus stations retrograde for 5 months until mid-December. Retrograde planets are always about reviewing and reassessing the area of your life where the retrograde planet is located. Uranus is about innovation and originality and brings breakdown and breakthrough opportunities for change and renewal. Uranus awakens you to latent possibilities. Now, with its retrograde movement, you get the chance to integrate all the innovative and perhaps sudden change that has occurred over the past several months. On July 17th, we also have the exact grand water trine when Jupiter at 4 degrees Cancer trines Saturn at 4 degrees Scorpio and Neptune at 4 degrees Pisces. This grand water trine is a rare astrological event. It brings good feeling and healing to the areas of your life where Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn are located. This grand water trine has a magical and mystical element to it. This grand water trine blends the higher mind wisdom of Jupiter, the practical grounding and structure of Saturn, and the spiritual idealism of Neptune. Trines are easy flowing and feel fantastic. This grand water trine is like a spiritual gift from the universe. The power of grace to heal and transform is active now. The number of this July day is 17, which equals 8, and is the number of infinity. So something will live on after you that is born out of this day. On July 19th, Saturn forms a perfect trine to Neptune. You give practical form to a spiritual ideal in your life. On July 20th, the very next day, Mercury perfectly trines Chiron, the wounded healer, as it stations direct. Something from your past related to your foundations, home, family, inherited patterns is healed and released. On the same day, July 20th, also, Mars, the planet of drive, ambition, and action, is trine to Neptune and Saturn, and 2 days later, at the Aquarius full moon, Mars exactly conjuncts the planet Jupiter. There is tremendous force and energy to give birth to something of practical value that fulfills your dreams and expands your consciousness. What transpires now is better than you could have ever imagined. You experience a window of time from July 17th to the 22nd when the grand water trine is most active. On July 22nd, we have the Aquarius full moon at 0 degrees Aquarius, exact at 11:15 a.m. Pacific. At the Aquarius full moon, you celebrate something completely new and innovative being born. If you'd like to receive my Aquarius New Moon meditation for healing and manifesting, please subscribe to my blogs. A link to my website where you can subscribe appears below this video. On July 22nd, also, the planet Venus enters Virgo, the sign of the original healer, and the Sun enters Leo. Leo is a sign of the shining star. During the Sun's transit through Leo, your royal self has an opportunity to come forward into the light. The Sun is the natural ruler of the sign of Leo. On July 26, Venus at 4 degrees Virgo opposes Neptune at 4 degrees Pisces and sextiles Saturn at 4 degrees Scorpio. The apex of this constellation is in Neptune, so the area of your life where Neptune is located will receive the greatest effect, though the areas of your life where Venus and Saturn are located will also be affected. There is an illumination and awakening that can be grounded in a practical way in a container that will harmonize the opposing energies represented by Venus, your personal love interest, and Neptune, your spiritual love interest. So both your personal and transpersonal love interests will be served in a practical and grounded way. Again, there is much mystical and magical energy available during the month of July for surprising twists and turns to occur that are supportive for all concerned. This is the way the divine works. It never chooses sides, but has everyone's best interests at heart. How could it be otherwise? The cosmic viewpoint is served in the month of July, and there is an awakening to how things are divinely connected in a beautiful way. This revelation is beautiful and has a practical application. You can have numerous aha awakening moments that live on past the peak moment of your experience of spiritual awakening. On July 27th, the Sun will square Saturn. This is the day also that Mars opposes Pluto. There's a revelation about hidden matters and conflict between the established order and the individual that comes to a head for resolution. July 27th could feel rather intense. However, there's so much loving energy supporting change and resolution at this time, I don't think the intensity will be long-standing. On the 28th, Venus in Virgo, which helps us lovingly deal with the details that need to be addressed, sextiles Jupiter, the planet of higher wisdom. This dance between Jupiter and Venus acts like a healing balm in the areas of your life where these planets are located. Since July 22nd, at the Aquarius full moon, we have been in the window of a constellation called a Star of David that is forming. A Star of David is an especially rare astrological event. A Star of David looks like a six-pointed star of Venus. This Star of David is the intersection of the grand water trine between Saturn in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter in Cancer, which is conjunct Mars, the planet that gets things going. So there's a superabundant activation of these constellations occurring now. The grand water trine intersects with a grand earth trine that is forming between Venus and Virgo, Pluto in Capricorn, and the moon in Taurus. The Star of David is at its height of activation on July 28th, 29th, and 30th. A Star of David historically was seen as indicating the birth of a king or queen, god or goddess. It's my feeling that this Star of David is about the spiritual awakening of humanity that's being born within each of us. You're awakening to your true divinity and the practical realization of your greater self. These astrological constellations indicate that a spiritual awakening is taking place on a grand scale. On July 29th, during the height of the Star of David activation, is the waning quarter moon at 6 degrees Taurus, which is one of the 6 points on the Star of David. Leaving an old form falls away as a new one is activated. On July 30th, Venus, the planet of love, at 9 degrees Virgo, exactly trines Pluto, the transformer, at 9 degrees Capricorn. We will all be feeling these cosmic energies playing out, though you'll feel the grand trine aspect most if you have personal planets near 9 degrees Virgo or Capricorn or Taurus, where the moon is located. Grand Earth trines birth and give form. The apex of the grand Earth trine is where the moon is located. So the area of your life where the Taurus moon is located is most likely where a new form will come into being in your life, though the other two areas where Pluto and Venus are located will also be affected. On July 31st, Mars squares Uranus. When there's conflict between home-related matters, perhaps inherited familiar patterns, and freedom of the individual to birth new innovations and experience more freedom. Because Mars is in a close conjunction to the planet of Jupiter, the planet that expands whatever it touches, it's important to focus on what you desire to create and refrain from any reactive patterns and old ways of acting. Rather be open to going with the flow rather than resisting what's happening, to discover new ways of relating and resolving conflicts within yourself and with others. On August 2nd, Venus sextiles her lover Mars, the astrological lovers of the zodiac. Mars and Venus embrace, and you have an opportunity for a lucky break in these areas of your life where Venus and Mars are located. Jupiter is also in a close conjunction with Mars, which expands the possibilities arising for a love connection that brings good feelings and rewards. On August 4th, the Sun in Leo will trine Uranus, retrograde in Aries. Innovative and bright ideas can be realized in the area of your life where these two planets are located. Since Uranus is retrograde, maybe an innovation you'd previously considered now resurfaces and regains new life. On August 6th, we have the Leo new moon at 14 degrees Leo, exact at 2:57 p.m. Pacific. The Leo new moon will trine the planet Uranus, so a surprise new beginning occurs with the Leo new moon on August 6th. So that's it for this month's astrological highlights. You are in for an incredibly big and eventful month this July that you will not soon forget. It has the dynamic potential for dramatically altering the course of your life and the life of our world. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. I always love hearing from you and finding out how things are going for you. Thanks so much for joining me. Please visit my websites, kgstiles.com, holistic products and services for body, mind, and soul, and pureplantessentials.com, organic aromatherapy. You can schedule an astrology session with me or make a donation if you like this video. Links appear below. Until next time, I'm your host, KG Stiles.